Hello there, this is Cookies. I've got turn 24 of M.A. Naba. So we received our gems from Man. We have a lot of battles this turn. Most of them not involving us, but a couple. I think we just had the one raid. And no counter raiding, it looks like. So let's go ahead and dive into this. In Pukaria, we have a werewolf raid. Some wolves against one PD. Then we see Asphodel's pretty spooky cavalry bless on standby with even this one PD. So 5 defense skill, blur to effectively increase that by another 2. Blood surge, which I believe gives more stats. Mending bones for his undead and heroism plus 200%. So this is an 18 defense skill centaur, 30 combat speed, pretty high. They're mostly focused on the defense skill. The attack skill could be a little bit better. He's got recuperation. This one's a death 1, and that's just on the PD. So let's see how they do. And the wolves just kill it immediately. So it's I think the anime dead probably fatigued it out a lot. So let's see, missed, but somehow that interrupted casting. The wolf got an insane attack roll and dealt 12 damage. Another one missed. And this one got another pretty nutty attack roll. Defense roll 17. Sounds like the centaur wasn't getting the full benefit of their defense. Probably maybe from some harassment. But yeah, the wolves end up killing it. I thought the centaur would do a little bit better. That was a remote attack from Man. In Vlex, we have Man's main force. Oh man, I wonder how many werewolves he has if he's got this many wolves running out in front. So he's collecting a lot of wolf chaff. Using that nature income. Killed most of the mannequins just with the wolves. Alright. So loses 1 wolf, takes out 22 harpy mannequins and a carrion commander. In On Remark, we see Vanderus's attempt to retake the province from cavemen, but this is a lot of cavemen. This might not be enough. Chewed herdmen are very killy though, but so are cavemen kind of. What? No. You had it. Why? Why would you run? It's just the last dude. Okay. Sorry. Oh, that's unlucky. I wonder if he tested that. And it probably worked in testing. That's unfortunate. Alright. So he loses 8 of the chewed herdmen. Pretty expensive to lose, but I don't know, it's hard to get around the price you pay to kill off cavemen. But most of them should have retreated off, so it might just be one of the caveman champions. So hopefully it'll be a lot easier. In Sitha, Asphodel and Man fighting each other again. So now we have a bunch of carrion boars, we have a bunch of mannequins, and a bunch of centaur warriors. So the killy part of this is the centaur warriors. Well, carrion boars with a claw. All right. So they can definitely, they have some killiness. Their attack skill is just so bad that the sleep vines have to harass down and put to sleep enemies before their main attacks will hit. But they get 3 Sleep Vine attacks to do that with. So they're just killing 1 PD. I don't think we need to watch that. And then in the Farseer Mountains, Bandarlog is attacking Abyssia, or I guess pinging him. Seeing what else is in Balin's pocket. Finds one of the mages with a small group of Abyssian infantry, but not much. But doesn't set the scout to retreat or it gets patrolled out. Let's go see. Should have had the scout set to retreat, so that's a small scripting error. Not a big deal. Vanarus and Pythium. Or, wait, sorry, that was a Bandar scout. Okay, so I guess he was pinging it. And if it was set to retreat, I think at best it would go back in the fort. So maybe the retreat script should have still been kept. I'm not sure. And in Resting Heights, we have Vanarus and Pythium. So this is just south of Grippa's capital. There's some Chewed Herdmen going after 1 PD. Shouldn't have any issues. On Pythium itself, Grippa moves to break siege and brings the whole dang army, including a big communion. 3 lines of these Ratiarius. The Hydras, for some reason, are behind them, so they're poisoning like crazy. Looks like some of the birds landed on mages, and some of the javelins also killed mages. So maybe a few small scripting optimizations that could be done here. Maybe on the battle screen it looks like the Hydras were further on the flank. Big old Falling Frost Communion. And it looks like we have a couple of these Viadoon. Well, we can take another look at this. So we've watched Grippa's point of view on it. Let's see what these Vanarus mages do. How many are there? There's 5? 6? So we have Phoenix Power, Swarm, 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 and Phoenix Power. Okay, 5 mages. Lesser Fire Elementals. From both. And then some of the mages are set to retreat. Okay. So preserving the mage core, but keeping a couple of mages to provide magic leadership. As they do 2 lesser fire elementals. Okay. See all that Falling Frost coming in. And a couple more mages retreat. This guy's still sticking around. He's a little fatigued out. I wonder... I have a feeling this guy's going to be set to stick around to provide magic leadership. Let's see just how quick these fire elementals die now. I know they were super strong in Dom 5, but the fact that you spend gems on them, I kind of wonder if maybe they could use a little bit of a comeback buff. Alright, some Thunder Strikes. Alright. So in terms of what went on here, so Zan loses 1 mage, the others get away, presumably. I think they control all the retreat routes. Throws away some Blackhawks. There's a few Chewed Herdmen go ahead and fight it out. 1 Skin Shifter, maybe he was afflicted or something. I don't know. Although they do have recuperation. some heavy infantry, a couple of sacred, so kind of a ragtag group. But does perform the goal of gem baiting, kills 3 Pythium mages, gets rid of some of the Retiarius, and I forget if they, when they leave your service, because they take, when they get wounded or hit someone before leaving, I wonder how many left because of that after this battle. Maybe it's a good number. But pretty good little gem bait from Zan, and like a little, like, in terms of a trap, I liked it. Pretty efficient. I just don't know about fire elementals and elementals in general and Dom 6. They haven't felt too good. But considering it's Retiarius that are hitting them, probably still a good play because everyone that deals damage is essentially killed as far as Zan's concerned due to how that interaction works. In the Grey Mountains, we have the False God attacking Jotunheim with the same little swordsman party. A little bit more PD this time, including a sacred. So let's see how they do. Don't like the sacred running out in front. Okay, the infantry have come in to help. Alright, he got both of the great swords, so he should be a little better off. Now he's getting surrounded, though. Now he's in trouble. Unblessed. His buddy died, so now he's getting surrounded even more. And he goes down, but he gave a pretty good accounting of himself. So Pyrene loses 2 great swords and 4 of the man-at-arms. But it does kill a 100 gold sacred and a Godius Scarl and a Wolf Rider. So that's 155 gold. That's more than what Pyrene paid, so still efficient for Pyrene. In Golphalos, let's continue our combat speed experiments. So we have some militia at 10 combat speed. And some heavy infantry at 9. Go ahead and clear them out. Nope. I want to see the units for a change. Alright. Militia attacked first. Militia. Camel. 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 Militia. Alright, so the combat speed seems to be a completely useless stat, at least after looking at it twice. Except for moving around the map, it's pretty good for that, but like the battle map. But I thought it was supposed to help with okay, so yeah, it's just how far they move around in combat. Okay, cool. Learning more about the game. Alright, I thought it was supposed to also help with who attacked first, but maybe that was just like something I'd heard about in Dom 5. I don't know. Alright, but this goes pretty well. No casualties. In Black Harbor, we have Asphodel attacking Fascia. So we've got Minotaurs on the right flank, Black Centaurs on the left flank, a bunch of mannequins in the center, including these sacred Sagittarian carcasses, which get a Vine Bow and Vine Whip, and we have some Carrion Behemoths in the rear. And yeah, Pretty spooky 29 combat speed, 24 defense sacreds. Some mannequins running out in front, eating the lance charges. Here come the cavalry. Minotaur's moving in to clean up the infantry. Alright. So, loses 4 carrion boars, 1 mannequin, 1 satyr mannequin, but kills a fairly significant amount of PD. We get some gold. We get a bunch of unrest. And we get an assassination attempt by a spider. So a large spider is trying to kill my poor camel. He's probably at the local inn. His trusty falcon, though. He charges in front of the falcon. But does manage to kill the spider, so it looks like we're good there. We lose Dominion. Just can't catch a break on this. But we do find out the false prophet. So the falcons come in to help. Probably should have had the camels on attack, just to get them in there and getting more kills. But we get rid of them. And then one of my scouts gets found out by man PD. Man patrollers. Alright, so what's going on? Let's cover the world first. So we can see man has forced Asphodel to back off of Fascia's last remaining fort. I was talking to some of the players, and it sounds like man is, well, not trying to kill Fascia, but just trying to lift the siege on the fort, because Fascia's still got like a Titan and some troops in here. So man's kind of trying to run down this Asphodel army. And then looks like we have another big Asphodel army in the capital, as many as 700. Goodness gracious. Alright. And then over here, the siege continues, I guess, where they've just locked down Farseer Mountains. Ballo's trying to recover from his defeat, so we have new forces coming into Omfolia, trying to rebuild his forces. We don't see much aggression coming out of Bandarlog to retake lost territory or lift this siege, though. That could be out of a concern for the Abyssia God. And then up here, Grippa's got his cap freed, but Vanarus is all up in this area. And in terms of now getting into our war with Jotunheim, so Pyrene's got Amberfields under siege. We're going to raid Endless Plain. Now, normally you don't necessarily want to do deep raiding because you can't trace income, but I can actually trace income because these sheikhs get tax collector. So I can go into Endless Plain, raid it, and just hide and still collect income from it, which is pretty cool little feature. Now, I wouldn't get stuff like in Gulf Blast, like the gem income, so like I guess the gold income from the arena can't be tax collected. But I can still come in and get like the 129 income, which is definitely worth it. We're going to go ahead and lock down Osiri. So we're bringing in the Sacreds, and they'll be attacking with a couple parties of camels. And it kind of looks like this. So we've got some camels on the flanks, the Janguard in the center. We're doing hold and attack rear and hold and attack closest. Additionally, we're moving out the main army this turn. So we've got the Mukarib. We're one turn away from Soul Slice. I haven't finished scripting this, but I do have some of the script in. We've got our Sacreds, we've got our infantry, we have 2 commanders in case something happens to one of them. We're moving in Mukarib using our boots. This guy's building the lab here so that we can deposit the boots before walking away. This Mukarib's coming as well. We're continuing to recruit more Mukareb, because it really is a power level that scales with the number of mages, so it would be good to get more of them in there. We're finishing off our giant palisades in King's Tomb Desert. We're continuing to recruit swordsmen and more Janguard. A little bit fewer camels, so we have some camels we're getting here. One of these parties, I think, got a little beat up, so it's coming back. So this guy. But other groups are moving out. Let's see. So we're recruiting more camels in the neighborhood. Not really. Okay. So running a little low on gold. We've got this group heading out. This guy's coming back to get the new recruitment here that we're doing. This guy's moving into Glyph, and we're continuing to kind of set up these raids and leech income. This is the first turn where we get a peace offering from Jotunheim. It's a super fair offer. It's, I think, 29 of, I think, 29 gems of where it could be of one of 4 different gem types. So it'd be like either astral or something else, depending on what I wanted. 1,500 gold over 3 turns, and I get to keep some of this territory. But I would not get to keep something like in his cap circle like Glyph. It was a pretty good deal, honestly, because I would be able to back out of this war without taking much attrition. It would be stabbing Pyrene in the back a little bit, because now they'd have to go through all the work of sieging down 4 Jotunheim forts. And almost assuredly, Jotunheim would be able to build a new army to challenge Pyrene by the time Pyrene could like organize shutting down all these forts. So I don't want to back out on Pyrene. So I guess I decline this for a few different reasons. I don't want to back out on Pyrene like that, because Pyrene's done a majority of the fighting. They've been nice about letting us get some of the spoils in exchange for helping lock down different forts. They've been, and there's a few other reasons as well. So we want to get Illwinter off of the game board. If for some reason we backed out and Pyrene was trying to finish this war, and then maybe Ulm interceded, then things could move against Pyrene, and then Illwinter would still be on the board. So I want to try and knock out Illwinter while the diplomacy is favorable for doing so. I want to be able to take Osiri. It's probably long past due that I start trying to take infrastructure from other people. Even with all the new siege integrity on the forts, it would still be good to go and take a fort off someone. And also, I just kind of want to fight someone. I've done a lot of raiding this game, but I haven't really done much fighting. So I kind of want to test my troops against other players now. I don't like playing super passively. So, and if something happens to the Pyrene army, I could maybe even get Jotunheim out of this. So, I mean, something could happen to my army too, which would be completely fair. But yeah, so it was a super fair offer. I had a few reasons for wanting to turn it down and continue the war. But yeah, I think in many games, I wouldn't mind accepting that offer and backing out and just taking that stuff. Now, I do think if I took that offer and he somehow ended up surviving, he would have a bone to pick with me about a lot of this stuff. So we'd probably just be setting up a future war. So, yeah, not a big fan of wounding people and then leaving them alive. So, and unless it makes, logical sense. But I think in this case, I think we would just want to he's lost so much stuff, I think we just want to down the player. So I'm going to go ahead and pursue that war. And then we've got a little red triangle here. I'm not sure what this means. But I don't know, we'll keep patrolling there, I guess. We're getting our third hammer this turn. We're also forging a handful of acorns. And we're picking up an alquill. The handful of acorns, if I get enough of them, could provide a little bit of assassination protection from Abyssia if I were to end up fighting them in a future war. So there's that portion of it. And yeah, I think that's most of it. So I'll go ahead and jump into turn 25, which is my current turn. I think it was last turn that I received the peace offering. It was before I got into the cap circle. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to go over that, some of my reasons for turning it down. Primarily, I want to be a good ally. I want to try and take a fort off of someone. I want to conduct a battle, and I want to get Elwinter off the map. So, but yeah, hopefully that explains some of my reasoning, and I'll see you in turn 25. Have a good one.